Hey now, my name is Nick from Board Game Brawl, and this is your Kickstarter update. And let's start with our obligatory game that has already been published by a major company and is now getting a new edition on Kickstarter. Dungeon Lords, the dungeon crawling Euro game from Czech Games, is now getting an anniversary edition on Kickstarter. It's going to have metal coins, new cards, new expansion, and generally this is a good thing for people who wanted to buy Dungeon Lords but haven't yet, and a bad thing for people who recently bought the retail edition, which was pretty commonly available. Of course, this is going to open the floodgates for Czech Games to re-release a lot of their older games using Kickstarter, so I guess you shouldn't buy a Czech game until you see it on Kickstarter, right? Horror Worlds is a deck-building space conquest game that I've been wanting to try for a while, so I was very excited when I found out that Stronghold Games would be teaming up with Broken Myth Studios to release a digital version of it. I was less excited to find out that they would not be releasing a PC version of it, that the iOS tier in the Kickstarter campaign is limited, and that the super secret special card that you got from that tier is going to be available in the Android tier in an unlimited capacity, which makes it card less special, I would say. And in the past week that the campaign has been running, there's only been one update which has answered nobody's questions. This is suspiciously similar to the first time that Days of Wonder tried to do a Small World app on Kickstarter, and that project was promptly canceled, so we'll see what happens here. Mouse Guard is a beautifully illustrated fantasy comic book that was probably the inspiration for Mice and Mystics from Plaid Hat Games. And now the designer of the Mouse Guard RPG, Luke Crane, is designing an abstract strategy board game called Swords and Strongholds, which was actually a game the characters in the comic book played. Through the Kickstarter campaign, you can get a physical version of the game, which looks really beautiful, and if you're a fan of Mouse Guard and all of its lore, it's probably a must-buy for you. Historia is a new civilization-building Euro game. It's being released by Mage Company, but don't let that scare you away because this one looks good. It's got really nice illustrations, the layout of the board looks cool, it's got some innovative mechanics going on with simultaneous action selection as you go through the ages, and it even promises an AI variant if you want to play solo, which seems pretty innovative and interesting for a civilization-building game, so it's one to keep your eye on for sure. My name is Nick from Board Game Brawl. This has been your Kickstarter update, and I'm reminding you to get out there and game every day and in every way. Take care.